Welcome back to the channel. In tonight's video, I'm down in Beer on the South Devon coast with Jonathan, where we're hoping to capture the fishing boats and dramatic cliffs with the Milky Way rising behind them. We started at the far end of the cove right down on the shoreline, waiting for the full darkness to fall and for the core of the Milky Way to reveal itself. The night was calm, still and surprisingly mild, perfect conditions for a shoot like this. Later on, we moved further along the bay to take in the natural curve of the shoreline, using the sweeping lines of the cliffs to lead the eye towards the Milky Way core as it climbed into the frame. This is where I took my first composition of the night, a simple clean shot taken at ISO 6400 with a 20-second exposure at f2.8. I used my Canon R6 with the 24 to 70mm lens set to the 24mm. We then moved further along the beach to capture some compositions featuring the fishing boats. These boats usually head out to sea most days when the weather allows, so they're rarely in the same position twice. That constant variation always gives a fresh opportunity for new compositions each visit here. I experimented with a mix of different crops and framing along the line of boats, including a few panoramas. A strong spotlight was casting a bit of light across the beach, which actually made single frame compositions really effective for the scene. We also weren't alone on the beach, with half a dozen hedgehogs wandering around looking for food, which was really cool to see. For my next image, I wanted to isolate these two particular fishing boats, so I zoomed in slightly. This also had the added bonus of making the Milky Way and the cliffs a bit more dominant in the frame, which I really like. After that, we moved past the boats and headed closer to the water's edge to work on a composition using the curve of the shoreline and the cliffs. One thing I found especially interesting about this image was how our shadows stretched right out across the sea, a testament to the power of that bright spotlight hitting the beach and its impact on the environment. For my next image, I gained a slightly elevated viewpoint to shoot this wider view of the bay. The composition captured the curve of the beach, but also had an unexpected bonus of a car's headlights casting some beautiful light rays at the top of the cliff. As the night wore on, the moon began to rise. That gave us a short but intense 20-minute window to grab as many final compositions as possible before the moonlight started to wash out the detail in the Milky Way. This ended up being my final image of the night. You can just start to see the Milky Way fading as the moon climbs higher in the sky. Some high-level clouds also begun drifting into the frame, which I think adds a bit of atmosphere to the scene. As the moon continued to rise and brighten the landscape, that brought the shoot to a close. It was a peaceful, rewarding night under the stars with some really satisfying images to show for it. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.